Hey folks, long time no see. Apologies for that. I spent the best part of 8 weeks in the UK with my family, and since I've been back home, just been staining my deck and doing household chores. But I would just like to take this opportunity to thank my 18 subscribers, and without your viewing I wouldn't grow. But essentially this channel is first and foremost has been for my own healing, and I just wanted to be as authentic as possible about my healing journey, and also about how I decode divine, because it does divine does talk to us in mysterious and miraculous ways, sometimes through others, feathers, songs. And of course, if you're on a twin flame journey, that is a very profound impact it has on you, both mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Even a soulmate connection with whom you know there's just something that extra special, with whom you can connect on a deeper level, not surface level. And I'm very much a girl of deep depth. My life has, divine has led me on a path, and my story, well, all our stories are unique to our individual journeys, and we followed our yellow brick road, and I'm glad I did. It brought me to New Zealand, and that doesn't mean that it takes away from the fact that, you know, I don't love my family in the UK, but I know that for whatever reason, well, I wouldn't have met my twin if I had stayed in the UK all those many years ago. I think I've been here, well, it was 25 years. So yeah, it was end of 1998 that I came to New Zealand. So it's been a path and a half. And I have to remind my children that, you know, I came out as a 19-year-old and I left all the creature comforts of the family home and the support of being able to come home to mum and dad's, and yeah, literally thrown in at the deep end and had to make my way. Unfortunately, I couldn't. Well, I don't know. It's unfortunate, to be fair. I think it's more fortunate that I couldn't go to university. However, I did do interior design course for a year, and I got a diploma in art and design, but that was actually in the UK. It's, to be honest, it's all irrelevant to me. A piece of paper, certification. I think life is the biggest lesson, but also learning to decode divine and decode your experience and what it's trying to teach you, and actually learning that there's so much more within us than we could learn through going to university, right? And that the divine imprint is actually way more powerful than, and becoming our authentic self is way more powerful than any of that could ever offer us, because that's another system, right? Well, I believe that divine is, you know, blesses us with many miraculous thoughts, and if we're willing to be aware and self-aware. I will say this, for spiritual progress, it's not an easy journey, the path of enlightenment. And does it mean you get to a destination and you've made it? No. Does it all mean we're all at the same level? No. Does it mean we're any less or more? No, it is what it is. We're all following our paths, and I love that fact. I love the fact that we can celebrate each other, and I think there should be more of it. And though but like, you know, frequencies of each individual, we're all different, and yeah. Anyway, I'm getting a bit sidetracked in my brain. It's just all of a sudden gone overwhelmed. I'm going to use these the Kali Oracle deck because I want to hear from Divine Mother. And this is I look to Divine Mother because it's been such a patriarchal system, right? And I know that Divine, you know, even Jesus and Mary Magdalene were twin flames. And this is a belief that I've come to understand because of the experience of the synchronicities and the divine intervention and the, you know what I'm saying. Well, I think you do. If you're on that path, then you'll understand. You'll in a know. But if you're not, then just ponder it. Just all we can ever do is be honest with ourselves and honest with others. And you know, just because it's been my experience doesn't mean it's going to be yours. Oh, that's interesting. See, straight away, I'm just looking at the bottom. I just see that's twin souls, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Is this the card that I need to take, Divine, on the bottom? Well, I just hear yes. So I'm not normally drawn. Normally I shuffle. I mean, I anyway, well, have a look. So I'm only bringing in the highest and best good. And I call on divine and divine inspiration to guide my words. But I'm going to read this for a moment. Now, it's about the Kundalini Sharti. Hers is the arising consciousness that evokes instability within, clearing the inner pathways for higher consciousness to manifest. Now, this is somebody that I spoke to. They'll know who they are if they're watching. I would never do a healing like to open up, to open them up when they're not ready. You have to be guided and led, because spirituality, in my view, actually, it derails you. If you're trying to force it, you can't force anything, and divine never would. And so but equally, we need to be aware that things will crumble and can crumble. So it may even lead to moments of depression, or because you become very aware of things, and it can be dangerous if you're not used to that level of dismantling of our belief systems, or even how we perceive the world. Anyway, I'll continue. Inner disturbance and instability wrought by Kundalini Sharti is an obscuring grace. Internal disorder is a necessary step towards divine reorganization. Yeah, so we get reorganized basically when you call in, but just always make sure you do it slow and steady. Slow and steady always wins the race. And this can take years sometimes, you know. Just go easy on yourself and be gentle, because the last thing we want is for people to feel that derailed in this supposed exterior world, because they're getting so tapped into divine that you realize this is your home. Like you feel safe and at one with divine, and that's good. But often the outward appearance almost doesn't look like it matches it, because other people aren't experiencing what you're experiencing. So yeah, just be kind to yourself. So yeah, internal disorder is a necessary step towards divine reorganization. Reassure your heart that no matter what may appear to be, at a spiritual level, all is well. Outworn energy is being processed and broken apart. From the ashes of your inner fire, you shall emerge anew. Let what needs to happen, happen. Within the subtle field of the body is a powerful, creative and awakening energy known as Kundalini. When the soul is ready, this energy, rather like a snake uncoiling, stirs and rises. Awakening a Kundalini becomes Kundalini Sharti, moving according to its own pace, path, and wisdom. It clears the chakras, purifying body and mind, preparing the body to more readily receive spiritual energies, weaving through the subtle energy body from the base of the spine toward the crown of the head, seeking release from the top of the head. As purification is rarely an enjoyable experience, this powerful natural process requires courage. As energy shifts and we are cleansed emotionally, we may have physical symptoms of discomfort and dramatically fluctuating moods. Our thought processes can be confused and our perception not as astute as it may otherwise be. Like sediment being sifted from the bottom of a glass of water, that which was clear becomes temporarily muddied. As the sediment is removed, the water settles again, but with more clarity. The oracle indicates a need to be patient and to allow for the confirmation of signs and intuitions. Yes, so slow and steady. This message is obviously really meant to come through. So don't be in a hurry because to become more spiritually aware because of the dismantling. It's not an easy thing to go through, and you do not need to ignore signs to act, but it is wise to recognize that you are presently within a liminal space of healing. The way things look now will change dramatically in the not too distant future. It is not wise to try and build a foundation on shifting ground. Be patient, trust that you will know when the time to act is upon you. Yeah, so it's about you learning your inner intuition, but let the dust settle, and when you're feeling, depressed, or your emotions are all over the place and you're feeling a bit, you don't know whether you're up or down, just take time and just breathe into your heart. And, ground it. When Kundalini Sharti rises, energies are beginning to move in new ways. The oracle indicates there is something within you that has been dormant, perhaps for a long time, even lifetimes. It is now reawakening. This message could relate to an aspect of your being, even a past life talent that will be further developed in this lifetime. It could be a stalled project coming back to life again. Or a reinvigorated sense of purpose following an unexpected inspiration. Moving forward, an ascension to a new level of experience and being are predicted. Sometimes there is quite a long period of deep incubation. I think I've just gone through an incubation period with my family and then coming here on the spiritual path when not much seems to be happening. Kundalini Sharti is an inner movement of energy which will eventually demonstrate an outer effect that is often considerable. It can seem illogical to the intellect, but if you want the externals of your life to change, go within and work on your inner self-healing. Through trusting and protecting the process of inner work, shielding it from prying eyes and ill-informed, fear-based negative opinions. That's a big one. You'll actually learn that being alone is actually a great benefit. A new authentic self is generated. We don't have to know how to accomplish that. The movement of Kundalini Sharti is an awakening energy with its own creative intelligence. She knows how to guide us towards spiritual fruition, just as the body knows how to heal a broken bone, even if we cannot understand how to accomplish such an astonishing feat at a conscious level. This is the thing, isn't it? It's all within. I've had children that have broken bones, unfortunately, but yeah, you've just got to nurture it for the healing to occur, and it occurs as a miracle, really, doesn't it? Let's face it. How can you not believe in divine? We're divinely created to heal. The time naturally comes when the newly forged self is strong enough, sufficiently spiritually integrated, and ready to be seen, heard, and received. We are ready to come out of the spiritual closet. Sorry if I've been in my spiritual closet. We have no interest in trying to mould ourselves to fit the demands of others. No, your needs and your self-love is the top priority, always. We are divinely self-generated from within. There is no benefit or effectiveness in trying to rush this process. It takes time and effort to distill our nature with sufficient resilience, so we are not shaken in the face of conflict by attempted sabotage or the fearful projections of others. That's a big one, actually. Even in the twin flame journey, I'll just interject here, because the energies are so intense between counterparts, particularly telepathy, and but I think the early stages of it, when you've got the run and the chase, I mean, I was the chaser because I just had a profound, overwhelming, unconditional love for my counterpart, and no matter what I was seeing on the outside, but because of the synchronicities. But anyway, this doesn't mean not everybody's on a twin flame journey, and it doesn't mean that you're lesser than either. Just always respect your path, because it is created for you from divine. So never feel inferior to another, because that's not what it's about. Okay. Only then can our presence bring clarity and grace. Such spiritual infusion, integration, and information takes as long as it takes. Yeah, and it can be years. It can be years. Particularly if you've got small children, their needs, are very, well, their needs every day are very demanding on you. And so spirit, takes care of you. You're not going to be given lots of profoundness because you'd be too exhausted. They're not unwise, your spirit team. Such spiritual infusion, integrity, information takes a long time. It takes as long as it takes. It is not a small accomplishment. We must be generous with our process, providing patience and trust. The oracle brings confirmation that you are working deeply, and much can come of this. Your labours are not in vain. So embrace the uncomfortableness is what I'm suggesting. If you feel depressed, you feel out of sorts, you don't know whether you're Arthur or Martha, the divine feminine, divine masculine, or balancing the yin and the yang within, because you've got responsibilities. And the insights, write down your insights. If you're finding it a bit overwhelming, just write down your insights from divine, because this helps you remember. And I will say this, the information we get from divine can seem almost contrary to our human mind or ego, and that's when the projections of others can help us, can not help us. You can see my brain's not quite computing. It's computing, but it's not able to express the depth of what you learn. But essentially it's bringing it back to oneness, bringing it back to wholeness. 1918, 1919, I see. The Oracle of Kundalini Sharti indicates creativity and healing on every level. It also indicates a time when matters of relationship are significant for your soul growth. Tuning into the masculine and feminine energies, what did I just say? In your soul will help you balance leading and receiving, directing and allowing, pursuit and presence, both in your outer worldly life and inner spiritual life. So you need the balance of this world and your spiritual life. And when you, that's what I mean, when you get these insights that might not, you know, might not have, it's a new insight, and be grateful for them, write them down, and then you can refer back to them as well as you're integrating the natural with the spiritual. And I think that is a real big key, actually, because it takes a few years, I believe, for the spiritual and the worldly life to balance out. And I will just interject this. I was part of a church. Now, because of the systems, they were going along with the government projections of what you should or shouldn't do with your body. And it made me question authority, put it this way. My soul knew that there was something not so good about this. So I had to step away, partly because I'd lost my husband anyway, and I hadn't got the energy, but also I had complex PTSD. So I had to be very kind to my nervous system. So anytime my nervous system was brought out of balance, I had to go within and bring that calm and serenity back ASAP. And that's really been the process of my healing, is actually choosing things that, making the choices each day, A, to look after our natural needs, but B, the spiritual, but the emotional, the physical side of the body, and to not doubt my own intuition regarding this, despite religious or even biblical passages. And it led me to question how the Bible was collated and why things were left out, particularly Mary Magdalene's account, which is the divine feminine. So I'm here today because well, the twin flame journey led me to tarot because of energy. So I was learning about energies. And, you know, I know that the church would go witchcraft. Well, it's just nonsense, because all you're doing is it's about learning about your spirit, right? And it's also biblical that it says about test the spirits, try the spirits. So this is our responsibility to discern. And, you know, not all those that are in authority are of the highest white light. So I am totally for the highest white light to be in any kind of authority, but then you realize that the authority is actually within us first and foremost. We're not to be puppets. We are to use our own discernment, and I think people probably give their power away a lot. Well, they do, and are too trusting to the wrong influences. And of course, sheep can follow sheep, and sometimes they do follow them off the cliff. And this is what we're trying to, I'm trying to bring back a self-awareness within and a spiritual integrity within yourself, regardless of what church or anything you belong to. It is about allowing spirit to work in your life. I mean, you call it Holy Spirit, the divine source, creation. It doesn't matter. Quantum energy healing, it's all the same. But, you know, we have to be wise. And I think the Holy Spirit is what guides us. And does it mean I'm right about everything? No, none of us are going to be ever. We're on our own path and journey, so it'll be what it'll be. And you get to choose. But so long as you're choosing a growth mindset and you're willing to challenge the systems, you're willing to question why is the system like it is and who stands to benefit, then that's when you get progress, because then you as an individual can then choose a better choice or get with people. I mean, it is my desire for this channel that others in you know, men and women collaborate together, because the women are very intuitive in business, and they're the back, they can back the males when it's a right decision, even if it's to do with you know, family wealth or family inheritances between siblings. You know, it all has a spirit. The spiritual element always has a practical element, and you know, at the end of the day, it's about your conscience too, and about what your intentions are regarding the next generation too. You know, it's not all about eat, drink, and be merry, right? It's about the growth of the next generation and teaching them. Yes, they will suffer. They will, although they might not. But I think the growth comes through suffering. It's, you know, I don't know whether it's sad to say, to be fair, because all the suffering that I've been through, you know, divine understands it all. But I wouldn't be here today with what I can express if it wasn't for divine. So we're just conduits to allow it to work. Well, the thing that I was going to say earlier, that for some reason I paused, but is just beware of spiritual ego. Don't go thinking that you're God. Meaning, how do I say that? Because we're all the embodiment of divine, but we're not to interject on others. Meaning, you come to my channel if you resonate with it. With what I'm saying, and maybe there's an element that I'm able to speak that your spirit team know that you need to hear that, or it's a confirmation for you, right? And then you take that back, so that's helping you gain. Now, if you do that, if you do feel that and my content resonates with you, please like, because then that's a confirmation in an energetic form. That's like thanking me. Because there's no money exchange. I mean, I think you have to be past 1,000 subscribers to be getting anything from YouTube, and I don't understand it. The point is, I've been led to do this, and I need to stop. I mean, I've had self-doubt, but not really with this, because I know I've got something valuable to offer people. But essentially, I'm working for divine. It's a bit like Margie Gang. I noticed she says, if God hired me, who's going to find me, right? So if my spirit team are all for this, because of the collective consciousness, and that we're all basically feeding off each other to help the collective consciousness grow, please, whoever you benefit from, please thank them, because, you know, don't take, oh, well, I'll just take that and feed my ego. I always make a point, whoever I am on, I'll always like whatever content that I watch on YouTube, because it's important. It's not just about any monetary gain down the track. It's about that exchange of energy and appreciating the value and the time and the energy of somebody. And anyway, that was, I don't know, that obviously divine just wanted me to say that. It came through, but it's a fact, isn't it? Let's face it. Right, where was I? Yeah, so it says tuning into the masculine and feminine energies in your soul will help you balance leading and receiving. Yeah, so sometimes we're led, and sometimes we do the leading, and sometimes we do the receiving. So this is going to happen throughout your whole life: directing and allowing, pursuing and presence, both in your outer worldly life and inner spiritual life. Trust your heart and don't be hesitant to lean into unfamiliar territory with boldness tempered by patience. You will become capable of many things on many levels that you were not capable of accomplishing previously. A new way is signified. Now there is a invocation ritual. There's a say this prayer I will say the prayer actually. Beloved Kali Ma, cosmic priestess of the divine feminine, I honor you. Mataji, beloved Shiva, Mahadev, fierce guardian of the divine masculine, I honor you. Babaji, together you are loving divine wisdom, passionate healing fire and uplifting transcendent grace. Your tantric embrace ignites my heart with confidence to create and be joyful and rapturous in claiming my life path for all it can be. My soul is your divine bedchamber infused with the bliss of your sumptuous sacred union. I become able to recognize my true nature and path. Adi Shakti, Kundalini, Mata Shakti, you ensure divine fulfillment shall be attained for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Jai Mai Kali. Yeah, the spiritual benefit of all beings. That's why we're here. You know, that's why we're here. Sense, feel, or intend that the love of the feminine is being protected and guarded carefully by the light of the masculine. Feel these energies intermingling in your heart, and where love, courage, and a feeling of innate spiritual protection grow strong and powerful, let this bring you peace. Finish by placing your hand in prayer and bowing your head to the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies within. And if you're a Christian, that's Jesus and Mary Magdalene, honouring the fact. Researching the fact about Mary Magdalene more, you know, questioning why it was left out of the Bible, things like that. Allow them to shine in all directions and through all dimensions for the spiritual benefit of all beings. So there you go. This is my desire and invocation to you, that this will be for the spiritual benefit of all beings, that will balance the divine feminine and the divine masculine. Just watch Avatar. I mean, that was a marvelous movie, really, wasn't it? As far as tapping into divine, you know, allowing your hair become intertwined with the tree, and the, you know, we're all connected. Everything's connected through the earth, and that energy, that is divine. And when you read this, you know, because religions will go, oh, you know, they'll poo-poo, I think, other, you know, when you've got all these names, right? And when they're calling about Babaji, so obviously that was probably the masculine in a culture. Well, these are all just people that have experienced the divine and have had an experience, and there's been multiple lifetimes. We were probably, you know what I'm saying. We're all interconnected. Our life paths are interconnected, but I think we're coming out of the toxic masculine traits of this world that have had too much say and becoming more intuitive with the divine feminine. And I know for me that Mary Magdalene we're bringing the voice back to the feminine. The feminine bring the divine feminines. We came back to it. The divine feminines are very knowing as they do the work. Like I say, not all divine feminines are the same, right? Or should I say, not all feminines. Doesn't mean they're, you know, they can be in their toxic science. We've all been there. You know, we're not to poo-poo, oh, they're toxic, and then add another label and judgment. Well, that's not divine. Ironically, I think, you know, we need to see the negative traits in another, but usually there's things within ourselves that need work through. And the one thing that I will say is just point it at yourself. The only one that you're entitled to judge is yourself. And the thing is, but don't be too harsh on yourself. I've been guilty of that my whole life. And I realised that I had to save me, right? You know, even losing my husband the last 4 years, who's been there for me? Really? Like on a day-to-day basis? Me, myself, and I. And who's with me? My divine imprint, the blueprint of divine. Am I whole? Yes, I'm already whole. You're exactly the same. But just be more willing to judge yourself before pointing the blame at others. And acknowledge that sometimes, even within families, they can do things unconsciously. Doesn't mean that they mean it, but they can do and say things unconsciously that's not had the light put on it. So it's about forgiveness, isn't it? And sometimes we do things unconsciously, and we need to forgive ourselves first. Anyway, we got to 35 minutes. That's a long one, isn't it? Well, I hope there was some valuable content in here. This was obviously very much needed to come out. And be kind to yourself, and don't force yourself thinking, you know, and don't make it into a spiritual ego, because it's just something else to heal from. And really follow divine. And if you need time out from people, I'm all for it. And anyone that's toxic in your life, you don't need to be around them. Actually, saw something, and I saw something where it's this lady obviously asked a guru, said, you know, if my if you know, if a family member or friend is being can't get my words out, disrespectful to you know, how long should I, you know, put up with or accept disrespect, sort of thing, you know, before I cut them off, or, you know. And the guru said, how long can you take poison until you die? Then this is not a reflection of my family, you know. This is not, I'm not, but anyone that's been toxic in your life, for whatever reason, there's no judgment here. You know, you're more than entitled to remove yourself from their energy. And but essentially, I feel satisfied that there's no one in my life can affect me in a negative way. And I'm here to build my own self-worth and be honest with myself and build my own life, and hopefully benefit my children and the legacy that I want to leave from my husband, and also for what we work together. So onwards and upwards. Anyway, take care. I think that's enough. Love ya.